So, after the latest round of World Cup qualifiers, it brings an end to match day 4. Match day 5 continues in March 2025. In the meantime, Ghana sits second. Comoros have been quite strong in these qualifiers and are proving quite strong. After their win over Chad 2-0, they finished match day 4 on top, equal on points with Ghana with a better goal difference. In the meantime, focus will shift to the African Cup of Nations qualifiers scheduled for Morocco 2025, and CAF has revealed the draw procedure ahead of it next month. We'll be talking about who the Black Stars could possibly be facing for the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. We're also going to talk about the Ghana Black Stars and the World Cup qualifiers that just ended. Tariq Lamptey has been speaking, and he was excited to make his debut in front of the Babayara home crowd. Spoke about how amazing the atmosphere was. Kudus Mohammed reacted to fans criticizing him. Some were calling it abuse. The comments I read last time out were not abusive words. They were criticism meted out towards him. And the reaction has come in from certain quarters who have said that even the likes of Abedi Pele and Stephen Appiah did not react to Ghanaians or insult or talk back at Ghanaians. We'll look at that and see whether if because they did not react, it was wrong for Kudus to react. We'll look at everything today, but as usual, don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't, click on that notification bell to get more updates. We'll jump right into it and start off from the Afcon 2025 draw. It is set to be held in Johannesburg on July 4th. Yes, Afcon 2025 will be hosted by Morocco. Now, the draw will be conducted at the Super Sports Studios in South Africa at 2:30 p.m. local time, 3:30 Cairo time, and 12:30 GMT, that's Ghana time. 48 nations, including the 4 winners from the preliminary round, which are Chad, Eswatini, Liberia, and South Sudan, will be drawn into 12 groups of 4 teams, each to battle it out for places in the finals. Headlining the confirmed nations for the draw are reigning African champions Ivory Coast, joined by Algeria, Angola, Benin, Botswana, Burundi, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Central African Republic, Chad, Comoros, Congo, DR Congo, Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, Eswatini, and Ethiopia. The other countries, as you know already, are in there. These are some of the core countries that are going to be in the draw as well. So 48 plus 4 will be 54, and I think it's the whole of Africa. Everyone will take part in it. After the draw, qualifiers are scheduled to kick off in September 2024 to determine the 24 nations that will compete for Africa's biggest event, Total Energies African Cup of Nations in Morocco 2025. And now, after the amazing tournaments that took place in 2024, it's great to see that the African Cup of Nations qualifiers is set to take place, and that is what will be occupying our time in the meantime ahead of the World Cup qualifiers in March 17th 2025, Ghana versus Chad. African Cup of Nations qualifiers draw July 4th. African Cup of Nations qualifiers start off on September. It is going to be an interesting one there to see if Ghana can make it there first and foremost, and then probably get their hands on the trophy. It's going to be interesting to see how things go from there. But qualifiers will take place from September, October, and then November. It will be 12 groups of 4. 2 will make it out of each group and go to the African Cup of Nations. So there will be 6 match days: September, October, and then November. So every window comes with 2 games, and that is how CAF is going to do it. It's going to be an interesting one, an interesting qualifiers. We'll be following it closely and updating you accordingly as well in these Afcon qualifiers. When will the Afcon be held? Well, no information yet on that front, and we are hoping to get clarification from CAF in the coming days and months. Jump into my next story, and it has to do with Kudus Mohammed. Now, I remember last time we talked about Kudus Mohammed and his reaction to the comments coming in on social media. Kudus Mohammed has been criticized for responding to comments. Some of you say some people have to be put in their place. Some say it wasn't necessary for him to reply. But Jeffrey Asare, who's a sports journalist, has appealed and scolded Kudus Mohammed and said that even Abedi Pele and Stephen Appiah did not insult Ghanaians. Our ace journalist has appealed to the Black Stars forward Kudus Mohammed to be mindful of how he reacts to criticism from some Ghanaians. Jeffrey Asare did not mince words in the condemnation of Kudus' social media activities following the Ghana's victory against Central African Republic on Monday. Kudus is average with the potential to be a top player in the future. He can only become a top player if he has a good attitude. The national team belongs to Ghanaians, and none of the national team players can match Abedi Pele's talent. You have the audacity to insult fans who criticize and appeal to you to release the ball early. The Black Stars has seen far better players than Kudus, who never insulted fans who criticized them. If people are criticizing you and you are a professional player worth your salt, you keep quiet. Stephen Appiah has never spoken back at Ghanaians because he's a mature player. Those who are advising him should counsel him. Otherwise, he won't reach his full potential, he said. Well, interesting take there, but I agree to him to some extent. I, for one, felt that Kudus Mohammed did not need to reply. Let your football do the talking. In fact, it's not necessary to reply to such comments. It just is a distraction you can avoid as a player. But then again, the fact that Stephen Appiah and Abedi Pele did not reply or retaliate with comments on or criticisms, it doesn't mean that is what Kudus Mohammed should do. Yes, I understand both sides of the equation. I understand where he's coming from. Please play your football and get us the results. Very soon, those who are criticizing you will now become fanboys and be praising you. Fans are fickle. They are emotional. He has to understand. Then again, I'll blame those who handle or who are counseling Kudus Mohammed because he's a 23-year-old. He's still a kid in my eyes. I have to be honest with you. He's in his early 20s. He's just full of emotions, reactionary himself. So he probably shouldn't be handling his social media himself because probably he should know that the kind of person he has grown to be right now, he shouldn't be mingling and reacting to such comments. That is what is there. But the fact that those other players did not react, it is not enough reason to say that Kudus Mohammed too doesn't deserve to react. Those are different people, different times, different circumstances. Social media was not as prevalent and easily accessible as it is now. So apples and oranges, you cannot compare them really. These are different times. But then I understand where he's coming from. Kudus Mohammed is just distracting himself. Keep your eye on the ball, man. The goal is the Ballon d'Or, I'm sure, for you. Don't listen to others. Forget about others. People will always talk no matter what you do, in my opinion. The pitch was terrible. Those fans have not even remembered the pitch, how terrible the pitch was for football. They are not pressing the necks of the NSA and the government to provide better sporting facilities, but they want the player to play at West Ham United with amazing sporting facilities and pitches like he does here in Ghana with trash pitches. So yeah, you as a player, Kudus Mohammed, and his agents or whoever are those behind him should know better not to be reacting to stuff like this on social media. People will talk no matter what, and I understand where he is coming from, in my opinion. Yeah, I think he has a point. Kudus shouldn't have reacted, but hey, some of you think he should have. It's a free world. My opinion. Let me know what you think on what he said about Kudus Mohammed there. Tariq Lamptey was excited to make his debut and made his debut for Ghana at the Babayara Sports Stadium. After making his debut at the World Cup for Ghana in 2022, he had to wait almost 2 years to get a chance to play in front of the amazing Babayara crowd. He was excited by the crowd, the reactions coming in from them, and how they reacted to winning and how they reacted and supported them when they were behind. He was excited to make his debut and hopes for many more appearances like that. He was speaking to 3 Sports after the World Cup qualifiers versus Central African Republic and Mali. And that has been it for today. The draw for the 2025 African Cup of Nations set for July 4th in Johannesburg, South Africa. I've also been talking to you about Kudus Mohammed's reaction. Jeffrey Asari says that he shouldn't have reacted to the comments coming in. And Tariq Lamptey excited to make his debut at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great week.